Of course, we saw this morning how Khairul Idampawi showed us once again that he is the man in the ADC. We had a few moments in the morning session, the first race with Haris Farhan and the two Japanese riders, of course, Ritaku Kurogi and also Junya Mori. And I'm sure the two Japanese, they want to make a man and to be on podium, at least for the second race.
The absentee now as we look and get confirmation. Khairul Idampawi on front row of the grid. Harrod's supposed to be there, but he wasn't lining up. And Mori in a time of 2:43.76. Andy Farid, who came through to get a good result in race number 1, as did Chang Ganyu and Tepi Nagoye. What a last lap from him on race number 1. Kurugi crashed out. Topo started well, but didn't finish particularly well. He finished 9th after all. Arsyad Rushdie got a place in the top 6, the first time for the Singaporean. Aditya and the two Thais, Paswat and Kiatsesak, who crashed out, they make up row number 4. And row number 5, Sarath Kumar, Tadachi and Shoal Irvin Daniel, who was the last of the points scorers this morning, the Sri Lankan. Lee Yenching didn't get a qualification time, but he will start in 16th position on the grid.
Is Haris Farhan Bahrain, that's the answer to your question just now?
Yeah, well, hopefully it's nothing more than just arm and a sling, but his tyres take such a tumble, it could be an awful lot worse. He was meant to be on the front row of the grid, Harith. So the red flag is about to go away. We are under orders for the Asia Dream Cup race number 2, race 8 of the season. And we are away. Khairul Idampawi on the right of the screen, getting off to a fairly solid start. Is he able to hold off a good start coming from the second row of the grid? The answer is yes. Khairul Idampawi led the way, but Andy Farid will just try and take him on the inside. And Andy Farid made a good move on the inside there, Hami.
Once again, a clean start by Khairul Idampawi, a clean start for everybody without Haris Farhan in front. So Andy Farid Iza has a clean view on the right side of Khairul Idampawi, and he's to that advantage. Now he's second behind Khairul Idampawi, and then Junya Mori is also there, but it's still early in the race, so we have a long line of the riders, and this we expect to be like this around 1 or 2 laps.
On the Suzuka track, this is the technical side. There's a right, a left, a right, and you're going uphill as well, so staying out of trouble before you head out in towards the countryside. And Khairul Idampawi has done exactly that. Khairul Idampawi has put some distance between him and Andy Farid, and then the rest of the chasing pack.
This is the problem for all the riders. They have to follow Khairul Idampawi in order for them to be in the front group. And now we have 2 riders in front. Khairul Idam is trying to break away, trying to be far from other riders. And number 4, Andy. Andy also did quite well in Autopolis last time when he was in front for quite some time in the race.
Khairul Idampawi, I'm keeping a look eye in the distance to see where Nagoye is, the number 5, the Japanese. At the moment, he's in 6th place there, just ahead of Aditya Pangestu. So an awful lot of work for the second-ranked rider, and you can see the start that Khairul Idampawi has made. This is so unusual for the Asia Dream Cup to get this kind of distance on lap 1. Andy Farid and Andy Farid is the one who's been able to keep up with them, but Tepe Nagoye currently in 6th position.
There's a gap between the 2 riders in front. We will see how far is the gap. I think it's around 0.6 seconds. 0.6 seconds between the 2 riders in front and the group behind.
Andy Farid has taken the lead. He's used what the riders are calling the Shinkansen, and he's just got over. That's like the bullet train, and he's in the slipstream. You get out the slipstream and you're almost thrust forward. And we've seen so many overtaking maneuvers now. Now they come to the chicane that you're on about, and Khairul Idampawi is back in the lead.
That's the problem here, because you have to go very slow, first gear, around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, and you have to go through it very smoothly, left, right, left, and to get out and to get the speed that you need to go through this front straight.
Khairul Idampawi leads by 1.138 seconds. Andy Farid second, Chang Ganyu. Nagoye is up to 4th, Aditya Pangestu 5th, and Kurugi 6th. Mori, the other Japanese who crashed out, is 7th. With the Indian Sumit Topo, he's in 8th place. But Khairul Idampawi has got this race by the scruff of its neck, and Andy Farid is leading that chasing group.
So around 1.2 seconds between the Idam and
Nagoya has made his move. We're expecting it, and he's made it very early. Nagoya in pursuit of Karol Idampawi.
Nagoya made his move now in second place, around 1.2 seconds behind Karol Idampawi. As what to say just now, how Andy Farid followed Karol Idampawi, but he made a mistake in the last chicane, and he now is just in front of Nagoya.
Well, Andy Farid is trying to come around the outside as they head out towards the countryside, that long left corner. Karol Idampawi leads, and Andy Farid has overtaken Tepe Nagoya, as has Chuang An Yu. So I'm wondering whether or not there might be a problem for Tepe Nagoya.
And I think Nagoya is already back in second place, yes.
No problem at all. And then he loses on the inside. And then two try to get him on the inside of the hairpin, and Nagoya goes from second to fourth as Chuang An Yu takes him on the inside of the hairpin.
This is a problem when they are too close to each other. Then they will have 2 or 3 lines, and when they go to the chicane, the final chicane that is, and then who will be inside, we have the advantage, and that will create some problem. And we saw that in the first race.
As we look at Karol Idampawi streaking away at the head, this is Chuang An Yu, and Tepe Nagoya comes through once again. Marvellous manoeuvre from the Japanese. Can he hold it as Andy Farid tries to come on the inside? The answer is yes, he can. He goes around the spoon curve, as they say, and into the fastest part of the track.
Beautiful move by Nagoya just now in second part. It's a great battle behind Karol Idampawi. We have 5, I think now, riders battling for P2. Number 3 is followed closely. There is Sumix. Looks Topo is now closing the first the group in front of him.
And the Indian is part of that little group of 5. Karol Idampawi has led from start to finish. It's not a convincing lead. It's a lead of about 1.12, but he does lead coming through the end of lap 2. It'll be 5 laps to go as Karol Idampawi crosses the finish line. Now he's got the lead, Karol Idampawi. Aditya Pangestu has forced his way up into second. Andy Farid, Nagoya fourth, Chuang An Yu and Kurugi sixth. It can change in the twinkling of an eye as Nagoya on that 900 meters straight has regained second spot ahead of Aditya Pangestu.
Aditya Pangestu the fastest lap with 2:44.515 seconds, but still 1.1 second behind Karol Idampawi.
Nagoya looks determined in second place there. He's trying to close the gap on Karol Idampawi all season long. The Japanese and the Malaysian have gone head-to-head. It's normally been the Malaysian who's come out on top, the others being also Rands. But at the moment, it's Karol Idampawi leading the way from Tepe Nagoya as we are in the midpoint of lap number 3. Leading the chasing pack is Aditya Pangestu. Andy Farid tries to make a move around the outside as well. But for Karol Idam to lead from start to finish, it's very unusual for him to go out from the get-go, Hami.
Yeah, it's very unusual for him to do this. Perhaps he had got confidence after race 1, and he had his own strategy for race number 2. He wants to get away from the group because it's quite dangerous to be in the group, and if you trap in between riders and especially at the last chicane, that will spell trouble for him.
That lead looks like it's just been closed down a little. It was 1.2 seconds as they come through the little chicane before they head up into the spoon curve. Nagoya in close pursuit. Andy Farid in third place. Aditya is in 4th for Indonesia. This the Asia Dream Cup, second race of 2, round 4 of 6 for the season. The outstanding competitor Karol Idampawi leads the way around the spoon curve. But there's the chasing pack. Nagoya is second, and Andy Farid has got himself up to third. What's the gap as we look into the distance here? Tell you what, they are clinging onto the coattails of Karol Idampawi. They're not letting him get away too easily.
Now we have around 8 riders in the left-hand sector. I think now it's less than that. And the gap also between Karol Idam and the group of riders behind him is now reducing tremendously. I think now it is less than a second between Karol Idam and the group behind. We have 5 riders now closing down behind Karol Idampawi.
They are closing fast on Karol Idampawi. What was a 1.2 second lead has been cut down dramatically. The Malaysian will still lead going through lap 3 and 4 laps to go as they cross the finish line. Caroline Powie accelerates out. Nagoe will be in second, Andy Farid third, and into fourth place Aditya Pangestu, Trang Anyu and Kurogi in sixth, but it's 0.50 of a second, and they are the top 5 racers within 1 second of each other.
Now we have a second between Nagoe and the group with Carolina Pawi. Carolina Pawi needed to get away once again, but this is what happened in ADC. It's always like this in a group of riders, 5 or 6 of them till the end of the race. Now we look at the fastest time by Tepi Nagoe, 2 minutes 43.446 seconds. Well, that we have 5 riders, 2 minutes 43 seconds, and Carolina Pawi is doing 2 minutes 44 seconds. I think because of the battle that's going on between these 5 riders, so they are setting better times than Carolina Pawi, who is before this racing alone in front.
It's the long left before they come into the 2 quick right-handers called Degner curve, as they take the sharp right and go under the crossover for the first time. Nagoe is definitely closing that gap on Carol Idem-Pawi. Carol Idem has led from pole to where we are now at the midpoint of the race, but now Tepe Nagoe is making his move and is right up as we come to the U-turn, and the Ditya's third, Andy Farid fourth, and Trang An Yu holding on into fifth. There's little change in the places, but there's plenty of drama and intrigue about the whether or not Carol Idem-Pawi can hold on, Harmy.
Yes, indeed, because now is less than 0.5 seconds between Carolina Pawi, because Nagoe is right behind Carolina Pawi. That's what it happened just now.
These are the minor placings. This is Sumit Topo in a group around 6. I think it might be a race for P7. As you see, the leading 6 are up ahead of them. So that was Topo, and now onto the slingshot or the Shinkansen, the bullet train. It's where you're able just to get a little toe.
I think I saw Nagoe is trying to overtake Carolina Pawi.
Nagoe has got Carol Idem-Pawi, and Carol Idem-Pawi will try and look on the inside. So after 4 laps in the lead, Carol Idem-Pawi suddenly finds himself in second place, and it was a lengthy lead at one stage, and he's also under pressure, 4-second spot. Nagoe goes wide, Carol Idem goes on the inside, Carol Idem-Pawi regains the lead. Terrific stuff in this 1-2-5 Asia Dream Cup.
Well, the way I see that from race number 1, Carol Idem-Pawi, he knows how to go through the chicane perfectly, and that gives him the advantage.
Now Aditya Pangestu took a little bit of a lift on the slipstream, and Aditya will lead. Nagoe will go inside of him. Carol Idem-Pawi drops down to 3rd place. Andy Farid in close proximity in 4th. The 6th racer Kurugi has actually joined that little group. We've got a leading pack of 6, led now by Tepe Nagoe.
So Tepe Nagoe is Carol Idem-Pawi currently 3rd. Is in the middle of the group right now. So a lot of things have changed since the last lap. So we have 3 laps to go, and perhaps the tire on Carol Idem-Pawi is giving some problem to him right now.
It's certainly not as convincing, because it was a convincing lead, and it did look like he was trying to blow the rest of this field away, but he's not been able to. He's now in the mode of chasing Tepe Nagoe, and Nagoe on his home track here in Suzuka. 5.8 kilometers, and they take that sharp right, and Nagoe looks to be in good nick as they go under the crossover.
This is what we are talking about, Carol Idem-Pawi. This is not the end for him yet. We saw what he can do even at the very last lap now of the race. So perhaps he's just taking his time following the 2 riders in front of him. But anyway, Tepe Nagoe and Aditya Pangestu, the both set a good time, with Pangestu setting the fastest time, 2 minutes 43.35 seconds. So that's how fast is Pangestu going. So it is now advantage to the top 2 riders. I think Pangestu.
Yeah, Pangestu's made a real go through there. He's taken Tepe Nagoe, and Carol Idem-Pawi is just holding on as we come into the long corner before they head into the straight for home, which is a long way from home, but it's a fast straight, and now they're in the slipstream. This is where so many overtakings maneuver. Just on this point now, the slipstream is there, and who's made the move? Well, Nagoye has got back in front, and Caroline Paui, he's making a move on the inside. Who will get it? It's Nagoye from Caroline Paui in second, and Aditya Pangestu in third. Terrific racing.
This is 1-3 Now they're coming to the last chicane. And this is how to get to the chicane, how to pass the chicane. You have to go very slow, and but this time Nagoye got it right, and Nagoye is leading Caroline Paui in second place.
2 laps from home. Nagoye biding his time, takes the lead now. As we see the pit lane, all these bikes are just about equal in power, so you're looking at rider potential, and Nagoye at the moment is leading. Caroline Paui temporarily dropped down to 4th, then in ahead of Chuang An Yu, who's putting a terrific series together here in Suzuka. The Chinese Taipei rider currently in 4th, trailing Caroline Paui, but this is still anybody's race. There's barely a wheel between these front 4.
All the bike are identical, 250cc from Honda, so they are all up to the setup that they use for the race, their own setup, their own for them to use in the race. So who has the best setup, who get comfortable with the bike, that will separate these riders. And of course their skills also play a major part in separating the winner and the rider behind.
The back 2 in this little group of 6 are the Japanese Kurugo in 6th and Andy Farid in 5th place. Let's not write them off, because so much can happen in the closing stages as it gets so tight and so congested. We've seen accidents in all 3 races earlier on this morning, and at the moment it's a new leader, Aditya Pangestu, ahead of Tepe Nagoye. Nagoye goes on the inside. Good aggressive move by the Japanese, and Caroline Paui goes on the inside of Tepe Nagoye. Wonderful racing from Carol Aidan Paui. Statement made, 1.5 laps to go.
A beautiful maneuver by Carol Aidan Paui. Now coming to the chicane to 200 R. This is one of the fastest area on the track, going to the long straight, back straight. Now he's on full throttle once again, and now creating a gap between him and the rider behind, especially in front of Aditya Pangestu.
Trying to avoid people getting into his slipstream, but they are trying to get in the slipstream. Caroline Paui powers down on the throttle, pulls away. There's a little bit of daylight for him. This is the fastest part of the track. It is Aditya Pangestu in second. It was Tepe Nagoye in third. In fact, Nagoye's dropped down to 4th, and they're closing up on Caroline Paui. And they've done it. Aditya Pangestu uses the slipstream, as does the Chinese Taipei, Chuang An Yu, and Caroline Paui suddenly drops from 1st down to 3rd as we come into the chicane for the penultimate time. But Caroline Paui goes round the outside and will lead coming into the final lap. This fella is a phenomenon.
He tried to run away from the group, but wouldn't allow him to do just that. And this is the final lap of the race. So this is the final chance for all the riders, especially Aditya Pangestu and Chuan An Yu, to beat Caroline Paui.
1 second separates the top 5. Caroline Paui now in second, because Aditya has taken him on the main straight. Caroline Paui just tucks in behind the Indonesian. Behind him, you've got the Japanese Tepe Nagoye. How many times have we said that this season? As Aditya goes wide, takes Caroline Paui wide with him. Caroline tries to come around the outside. Brilliant, brilliant from Caroline Paui.
Yes, Caroline Paui with Aditya Pangestu is chasing his first win, I believe. But Caroline Paui has other ideas. He won his number 7 right now in race 2 here in Suzuka, and using all the technique that he knows to be in front of this group, but still very, very close to each other. Less than a second, 0.1 second in between them, and we have a whole group. This is 6 riders now battling for P1.
And Caroline Paui lost power going up the hill, drops from 1st to 3rd. Tepe Nagoye has got himself in the lead with half a lap to go. They take the sharp right-hander, go under the crossover for the last time. It's Nagoye from Aditya. Caroline Paui in bike number 1 in 3rd place. The Chinese Taipei, Chuang An Yu, just behind him 4th. This is where so much can happen on the hairpin, and Caroline Paui is forced wide. Caroline drops to 4th, tries to just pick up a little bit of a pace. What a finale we're going to have to Asia Dream Cup Race 2.
Well, we still have a few more corners to go. This is 200R, and they're going to go on the fastest side of the track. And this is when we have Nagowi leading with Aditya second. And, well, once again, the final chicane will decide who will win the race.
Leaving it very, very late to get through there was number 2, Kurogi, the Japanese, but it'll be Nagoe who leads. Kurogi up to third, Aditya second. Where is Karol Idampawi? Karol Idampawi has dropped down to 5th place. He's just gone back into 4th. Now then, this is where the slingshot, the overtake, the slipstream can work. Aditya goes through, they take Nagoe, so Aditya takes the lead. Behind him, you've got Chuang An Yu in 8th. Karol Idampawi, bike number 1. Karol Idampawi in 4th place, 6 going head-to-head as they approach the final chicane where mayhem is guaranteed.
Well, this is where we will see how Karol Idampawi will do. Which is in front right now, Karol Idampawi going through the chicane.
Fantastic move from Karol Idampawi. He made his move going into the chicane. Leads coming out the chicane. Superb from Karol Idampawi. Best result of the season for Chuang An Yu. Karol Idampawi wins it. Chuang An Yu second. And Aditya third. Andy fourth. Kurogi fifth. And Tepe Nagoe from a leading position ends in 6th. We're seeing Arsad Rusti there looking a little bit worse for wear as he's come off in the gravel. He's kneeling up okay. That's a sad end for him. But for Karol Idampawi, 7 races, 8 wins.
Well, how did he do that? Because this is the moment for number 14. That is
Heavy tumble for Arsad.
Arshad Rusdi.
Confirmation of the result. Karol Idampawi with another win. Chang An Yu, Chinese Taipei, his best result of the season. Aditya and Andy Farad will both be happy with that. Tepe Nagoe in 6th place. Further down, Arsad Rusti falling out after 6 laps. Li Yanqing, the last to finish, Kiatasik in 13th. From here is the championship standings. It's a 60-point lead now for Karol Idampawi. Tepe Nagoe normally in the top 2. He struggled today. He actually only came 6th despite leading for a long time. Aditya Pangestu, he gets a little bit closer. He's within 30 points of Nagoe in 2nd spot there. Harith Farhan, that's a wasted opportunity. He was on pole, but he's obviously injured that shoulder. We'll find out a real diagnosis of what that's all about. Pick up his award from Yoshikato Shiraga. So for Chinese Taipei, they're suddenly in the thinking of the trophies.
Yeah, because last year he was 8th and well, this is his first podium. That shows how he last year he was nowhere in front. And for a rider from Chinese Taipei, it's a great for them. Good for them to have a young riders like Chuan An Yu. Because it's not always that we hear a rider coming from that part of from Asia, from that part of Asia or from Chinese Taipei.
But we'll hear plenty more about Karol Idampawi. It's the maturity in many ways. He doesn't seem to be phased at all by any circumstance. Coming into that final chicane and just having the nerve to brake late and then come out in front. It's a phenomenal performance from Karol Idampawi. We've just said that time after time after time this season.
I've been saying that because his last year he was still a 15-year-old boy and with impatient sometimes. But this year we're seeing a different Karol Idampawi in the race in Malaysia, in the Malaysian Cup Prix. In his categories, leading the championship, he's winning almost the race, all races like what he's doing in ADC as well.